Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. We're doing a series on the doctrine of the Trinity. Thankful you're here. We're on the Stanford Dictionary of Philosophy. I really appreciate it. It's plato.stanford.edu. We'll read a little bit, discuss it. It's absolutely fantastic. And if you'll watch our other videos, you'll see there's absolutely no mention of the Trinity or any concomitant terms, explanatory terms, when they're very well was open doors for there to be if God wanted to know himself as that. Old Testament, New Testament, and in the first 3 centuries of the Christian era. So let's get started. We're just going to read 2 paragraphs and then start with Tertullian, but I think I'm going to make that a whole nother video series. So while views about the Spirit remain comparatively undeveloped, and that's true, and as in the New Testament, the Spirit was not worshipped, in the 2nd and 3rd centuries, Catholic Christianity came to attribute a divine nature to Jesus and to firmly establish his being called God. Now, I would dispute that. I would say he was called God in prophecy in the Old Testament, and he's Jehovah God presented all over the New Testament. I've done many videos on that. Going through the Gospels, there's a ton of places we tend to pretext Jesus about being God, but he's claiming to be God all over the place. And I really appreciate David Cates and many others that are coming to the conclusion, like in the Pauline epistles, that they're referring to Jesus as Jehovah all over the place. So I would disagree with Catholic, the Stanford Philosophical Dictionary here. Language, which had been very unusual in the 1st century, Murray Harris, 1992. By the way, that's a great book on the deity of Jesus. Phenomenal book, J. Murray Harris. I think it's J. Murray Harris. Now became the norm. Jesus was now God, or a God, but not the one true God. Now, I say throughout the Bible, all the fullness of the Godhead dwells in him bodily. But for example, he's not the Father. This is the deal. We believe Jesus is the Father incarnate. We believe 1 John 2:22 and 23 says you have to believe that to have a correct understanding of who Jesus is. It's biblical. And other people are just trying to dance around that and say he's not. He's the Word. Of course he's the Word. The Word was God, God the Father. Okay, Novation, Trinity, chapter 31, Justin, 1st, chapter 13. This divine Son, the pre-human Jesus, was mysteriously generated by God either just before creation, late 2nd to early 3rd century Logos theologians, or in timeless eternity from origin on. So we would say he was a lamb slain from the foundation of the world. That's in the mind of God. And then you get into the ontological understandings of the mind of God. While these developments were new, the worship of Jesus was not. Remember, before 45 AD, Yegoyedin had found Christian ossuaries at Talpiot in Jerusalem that said Jesus is the name of the Father. Remember, even the famous Roman soldier worships his God. Earliest church found there at Armageddon, 225 AD, dedicated by a soldier to the God Jesus. Many other. Jesus is present. That church found 18 miles southwest of Jerusalem in a cave. Okay. While these developments renewed the worship of Jesus was not, I agree with that. As earlier theories that it was developed only slowly because of Gentile influence, recent work has shown that Jesus was worshipped alongside God in the earliest known Christianity. Hat tip major to Larry Hurtado, 2003-2005. Many, many books. While the basis cited for this practice in the New Testament is God's post-resurrection exaltation of Jesus, Hurtado, 2003, it's now assumed that it's based on Jesus having something divine within him. I would say that's very scriptural. So now we come to Tertullian, fascinating individual. Really the first to use the term Trinitas, also una substantia and tres personae in Latin, but later became a Montanist, and most Montanists became oneness, which is interesting. God bless. We'll see you. Bye-bye.